If your job was to become as discerning, as quick learning, as strong-willed, as dangerous as possible, what do you think that would look like? What do you think that you would be able to do if you had that kind of characteristic that is embedded inside of yourself? What do you think is the kind of mentality that you would have to get to that point? What do you think is the kind of purpose in your life that you would have to have as well? You'd have to be completely devoted to God. You'd have to have a complete sense of purpose and understanding that you are who you are and that you are living as freely and as righteously as possible in each and every moment of every day. And you are not going to let anybody hinder your ability to stand true and to live what is true and to let die what is false, right? And when you do this, or at least when you're striving to become and to be something like this, people are going to start watching you a little bit more closely than usual. Now, I'm just getting back from the gym, and it is a warm morning again here in northern Utah, where I'm at in the United States. And wow, what a beautiful time to be alive. You know, it's September. It's September, and it's still pretty warm where I'm at, which is fairly unusual. It's not usually this warm at this time, but that doesn't mean that there's global warming out there, okay? Let go of that, leftists. But anyway, the point is that you're going to be watched more closely and more succinctly the more that you level up in your life, and the more that you start to just really stand in your power and you claim that power. I cannot tell you how many times I've had people, specifically like women, female stalkers. I don't even like to call them women because women don't do that. It's kind of like you can see a cuck and you can see that he's a male, but he's not a man. It's the same kind of thing with a woman. You can see that that's a female, but that's not a woman, okay? So woman is different. But anyway, specifically with female stalkers, I've seen some really crazy stuff that's happened, and they will do anything and everything. And look, I don't consider myself the most attractive man in the world. All I have is a physical masculine presence, that I am the circumstance. I am the one that impacts my environment. The environment doesn't, I don't need to mold to my environment. I am the impact on my environment. So when I go out and about and women notice this, men notice this, you'll get jealous men. It's crazy. And some of the men that will pretend to be your friend are really just backstabbers. And that's why I kind of like people that I'm playing racquetball with right now in the mornings recently. These guys are a little bit older, but you know what? It's super nice. We just go in there, we play racquetball, and we leave. like that's pretty much it. And then I go work out and I do, I go running and then lift weights and such. But, we'll play about 30 minutes to 45 minutes of racquetball beforehand. And it's fantastic. We don't talk about anything. We don't really say much at all. We play hard. And these guys are good too, by the way. They're really good. They're probably the best racquetball players I've ever played against. And I just started playing with these guys, right? We go in there, we don't really say much, and then we leave. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And those kinds of relationships are very beautiful sometimes. Because sometimes I don't want to be in this deep mode of mindset all the time. I've been there. I've been the existentialist before. And I genuinely think the existentialists are almost succumbing to their own inner idiocy. And when you succumb to your own inner idiocy, you start to doubt more, you start to be confused more, you start to not know who you are more. And look, don't get me wrong, there's something to be said about the utility of existentialism. And I think to even be, wondering about the universe in some way, shape, or form actually means that you're on a positive path overall. But sometimes people can get so caught up with this, they can get so drowned in the existentialism that they don't know how to live their life anymore, man. And this is what I see with people all the time. And I get it. I do, because I've been there. I understand what that's like. I know what it's like to be in the place where you just feel like the world is collapsing. Like the world in of itself, like the world is ending for some people all the time. That's how doomer some people are. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Oh, I'm gonna be stuck here, I'm gonna be stuck there. Keep telling yourself that and see where you get. Oh yeah, you're not gonna get anywhere. Like, if you wanna be a true, like if you wanna learn quick, okay, if you wanna know how to be in this life when you can act as if you're already free. You know what's crazy is, like, I had a call with somebody yesterday, and I asked him, I said, well, like, because he wants to develop a godlike mindset, you know, and because I have asked people recently, it's like, well, okay, are you wanting a godlike mindset, or are you just trying to reach a goal, right? And so I asked him that, and he says, well, I want the godlike mindset, and then I said, well, what does that look like to you? And what does that look like? And he describes it, and obviously, like, he gets the gist, of course, right? But he's looking for that refinement. He's looking for that little oomph that maybe he doesn't see before. Maybe there's a blind spot. And I told him, I said, well, what if I told you that the way that you just described that freedom of mindset, or that freedom mindset, and to be free and to live in that godlike mindset all the time, is not going to get you anywhere? And he was like, well, then I'd be interested to know, what's gonna be the right way to think about this to get me somewhere. I said, well, practice as if you're living already free, man. Don't, like, I see a lot of people, and I completely understand why this is. I completely get it, because we live in a society that everybody needs a system. Everybody needs a, and look, don't get me wrong, systems are great, especially when it comes to business, and especially when it comes to like programs and such, or like fitness routines, or you're trying to understand your emotional intelligence, or you're trying to develop yourself. There's complete, like the Bible in of itself is a self-realization system, and it's layered with nuances, and it's layered with these amazing aspects of the physical, the numinous, and then the narrative all combined, right? So there's something amazing that's happening there, and it's going to continue, because the Bible is a living document, right? It's a living document. Anything that is in spirit and truth is a living document. That's why writing my book, The Book of Oldishness, writing my book, I know when I go back and read it, like, if I want to, because I'm going to need to learn those lessons forever, right? Like, some of those lessons that I've learned, it's going to take a lifetime to implement those. And so I go back to my book sometimes, and I'll just read certain sections that I'll remember and recall. I'm like, okay, what exactly do I need to learn here? Okay, that's right. Because this is like, it's okay to have a system, right? It's okay, but in other ways, it's more about just living what your life is. It's more about just living your life. Are you going to let the oppressors of this reality, because God is showing you just how oppressed you really are right now. You might not even realize it, but we are so oppressed that we don't even know that we're oppressed. And I'm not talking about some patriarchy oppressed. I'm not talking about some feminist. That's my impression of a feminist, by the way. The patriarchy. Yeah, it sounds very close to the Jezebel, because they are pretty close to the Jezebels. But anyway, I mean, pretty much they are Jezebels for the most part. Not all of them. Some of them are just, well, anyway, that's a different topic. But the point is that when you are out here in this life, when you are living your life and you're seeing the way that these people are moving, you don't have to move the way that they move. You don't have to sit there and think like, okay, well, maybe if I have to do it like this, then maybe I'll get somewhere. It's like, well, look, maybe the best place to get somewhere is to go nowhere and do nothing. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Sometimes you just need to be. Sometimes you just need to live your life, get in the sun, enjoy the sunshine, and let your circadian rhythm play its melody, man. Like what else like what else do you want to do? I don't understand. I mean, again, I do understand, but I don't understand. It's just like we have so many opportunities at our fingertips. We have people trying to kill us every single day, and yet you're too worried about not trying to fap and not trying to play with yourself that you can't even see the bigger picture. Like, you're so focused on trying to not look at Instagram models that you don't even see that there are people trying to kill you. There's inflation happening. People are trying to take your house away. It's all happening before your eyes. We have to pay to live. Do you know in Genesis well, I mean, technically it's the spirit of Jesus, I guess you could say, but God, you know what God said to Adam and Eve? Out of every tree in the garden you can eat, but just don't eat the knowledge of the forbidden fruit, right? Or the forbidden fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Just don't eat off of that tree, but you can eat anything you want. We are not meant to pay to live everywhere that we go all the time. We're just not meant to do that. And yet this is the way that the world is set up. So, well, what do we do about it? Well, we recognize the system for what it is, and now you play the system to play the system. I've talked about this so many times. You have to play the system to play the system. You might not get where you want to go. You might not be where you want to be. But guess what? If you can play the system to play the system, that's how we're going to win out here. There are people are like, okay, well, don't get too caught up with the competitive spirit. Look, do you guys want to thrive or not? Like, do you want to be empowered to prosper or not? The world is a competition. I don't like it. But guess what? Sometimes healthy competition is good. Sometimes healthy competition is very important. And the thing is like, there are so many people that are going to start to look to you to be an example. And it's your responsibility as a godly person, no matter if you're a man or a woman watching this, it's your responsibility to set the example. And it's your responsibility because, look, I have like on YouTube right now, I have like almost, like 21,000 followers or subscribers or whatnot. I feel a sense of responsibility for the kinds of thought algorithms that I'm portraying into that collective consciousness. But I also think that, and I want to encourage for people to think for themselves and to not get so caught up in the cancel culture of this false Christian doctrine and get away from hippie Jesus. Hippie Jesus doesn't exist. I was talking to some guy today at the gym, and I've been more social recently. I don't know how I feel about it. Like I like talking to people, but man, sometimes people are just, it's like you're talking to a freaking wall. And there's moments of connectedness and goodness, but then other times it's just like, wait, do you get it or do you not get it? Like, are you just reciting things that you've heard, or do you actually have a mind of your own? Because there's so many slave minds out there. People don't even know that they're the slave minds. That's what's so crazy. Like, I have to meditate so I don't throw things at people that are slave minds. I have to pray so I don't throw things at people that are slave minds. And I pray for the people that are in their slave minds because they don't understand that they're even there. They don't even know what they don't know. And that's what's so crazy, because I completely understand where they're coming from. I get it, man. I get it. Not everybody's perfect. I know I'm not perfect, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to get out there and become the best possible version of myself and fight the good fight, because I know there are people that want us to die. There are people that want us to not have to live. There are people that want to siphon our energy, our godly energy, to use for their materialistic gain. Did you see what happened yesterday with Trump and Mark Zuckerberg and the Apple CEO? What's his face? I don't know. I just I have a nickname for him, but it's not right. But anyway, the Apple CEO, they were all there at the White House yesterday, and they're all going to invest into America. Do you not see that America's already done? Like, it doesn't mean that I don't love my country. It doesn't mean that Americans, if you're not an American watching this, you might not understand this or even care. But like, for all the Americans out there, do you not understand that America's already done? But that doesn't mean we need to be doomers about it. That doesn't mean we need to be like, oh, America's done, man. America's done. Shut up. We don't, it's time to start doing something about it. And guess what? That's why I have started doing something about it. I've created an online academy to empower people to be educated. I've created a one-on-one mentorship program, the Godlike Mastery Initiation Program, so that people can actually get and develop themselves spiritually in a way that they've never been able to before. They'll have personal initiations. They'll have personal initiation trials and tests that will empower them to live in this ritual-like aspect of life, because I'm not ritualistic. I'm not religious, I'm ritualistic. And that's what I don't think that people completely understand about religion. It's like, we have not left the faith. We who follow Christ have not left the faith. We've left churches, yes. This is something that one of the members in the Regal Change Academy mentioned yesterday. He was talking to this older guy in his neighborhood, and the older guy was kind of worried about how so many people are leaving church. But this guy, this member of ours in the Regal Change Academy, he told them that, well, it's not that people are leaving the faith, they're leaving the churches. And this is why, is because we're seeing the matriarchy completely envelop in the churches, and we don't want to be a part of it. And then when we don't want to be a part of it as godly men, when we say, no, I'm not going to follow the lead of a woman. I saw what happened to Adam and Eve. We're not going to do that. I'm going to learn from this. All of a sudden, we're ostracized. That's when we start getting watched and just whatever. It's so crazy, man. It's just so bizarre. The kind of people that are out there, and that they will do and go to great lengths just to try to critique you on your way of life, simply because you're at peace and you're living life in accordance to how you see it, like with God. And it's like, I'm thinking for myself and I'm open to be corrected. But guess what? Here's what's working. Here's what's not working. Do you have a rebuke, or are you just trying to be right? I think that's a good place to chill. I've been very passionate and fiery the last few videos. My mind's been like full speed ahead recently. I think it's also just the competition aspect, like recognizing the healthy testosterone that's going to come from competition. Man, it's super important as a man. Super, super important. But anyways, guys, I hope this message was useful and insightful for you. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of your evening, or day, wherever you are watching this. I don't know when I'll post this. Maybe I'll just post this right afterward. I like to post things in the middle, like as I'm doing them, though. Like, sometimes people will plan out posts, and I think that's good for, to a certain degree, of like planning out like when you're gonna post things. But sometimes for me, I like to just post as I post. I like to, man, it's kind of warm. I like to just post because I feel like I get to tap into the collective consciousness more when I just post as I need to post. And again, like when it comes to having a system, it's good to have a system. But sometimes just going with the flow is going to be more important. But anyways, I hope everybody is blessed, grow closer to Christ, and peace be with you. Until next time.